Hey guys, so I tried my knife liner again, and every time I do knife liner it just comes off looking like size. Like I need to work on it. I can't get them like straight. But I struggle with that with like winged eyeliner anyway. Alright, so I know I do Freaky Friday on Fridays and tell you guys scary stories, but if you're like me and you need horror in your life on an everyday basis, I thought I would talk to you guys about some scary books that I have read this year. So we had the new Pet Sematary come out this year, and I grew up watching the original from like '89, I think. And so with the release of the new movie, I had to read the book. So I've had the book for years, I just hadn't read it yet. And I will say it's a little on the dry side. Like for Stephen King, it's a little more on the dry side, but it's still really good. If you've seen the old movie and the new movie, you know that there are quite a few differences and some really big differences between the new movie and the old movie. And I will say, even though I honestly like the new movie better than the old one, because the old one was just kind of, it had some issues, but the old movie does stick to the book a little more, especially the ending is definitely closer to the book than the new movie, because the new movie went kind of off the rails at the end there. Yes, I read Pet Sematary by Stephen King and I enjoyed it. It was, for having seen two versions of, you know, a movie made from this book, I still did genuinely enjoy it. And I will say that I never could stand the mom in the old movie, and the mom in the new movie was better and more like she is in the book, just not awful all the time. These next two books are somewhat related just because they have interacted with each other. But I mean, you know, because I got his first book when it came out, read it, loved it, and then I think I was late getting this book. Yeah, I was a little late. This came out 4 years ago. But it's hard to believe his first book came out even longer than that. But yes, I love Zach Bagans. I'm really trying to plan a trip next October to go to Las Vegas so I can go to his museum. Oh my God. I cannot even imagine like being in that museum. Like, it's going to be unbelievable. But yes, Zach Bagans is freaking hilarious, and just getting more of an inside look into just him rather than just watching Ghost Adventures it's an experience, and I love it. Slightly related to that, I decided to pick up the Sally House Haunting. Now this is written by Deborah Pickman, the woman who lived in the house with her husband and their child and experienced everything. Ghost Adventures has been to the Sally house. But yeah, it was a really good read. I loved it. It was very interesting, and yeah, for someone who loves hauntings and ghosts as much as I do, this was a really great read. So 2 books I don't have physical copies of, they're on my phone. In the Audible app is In the Tall Grass by Stephen King and his son. I think it's Joe Hill. He has 2 sons that write. I'm pretty sure it's him and Joe Hill. But I listened to that book and I loved it. Oh my god, it was so intense and like scary. And because like I remember specifically like cleaning out my car while listening to it, and like something would happen and then I would like stop and like listen, and I'm sure my neighbors were laughing at me because they got quite a show that day, because I'd just be cleaning my car and then I'd be like, and go back to cleaning my car. So I'm sure it was interesting to see. But I thoroughly enjoyed In the Tall Grass. Of course, Netflix made a movie about it. They are like putting out movies really quick now, because I just saw that The Outsider, which is like a, I think, 2-year-old Stephen King book, is already getting an HBO like show or limited series or something. And In the Tall Grass isn't that old either, I don't believe. So it was like, whoa, they're really putting them out. So the other book that I do have a physical copy, I read it, but I can't find it, is Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. It is a really quick read. I read it in like 3 or 4 hours, but it's so good. Like it's creepy. It's really good. It's such a good story. And like I said, it's a really quick read too. And I feel like you will thoroughly enjoy it. So these next 2 books are books I just picked up from BAM, and I am eagerly looking forward to reading them over the next few days. So this was, I picked it up because it was like scary stories and it was like on clearance, so it was super cheap. But it's this Penguin book of horror stories. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. It's got a bunch of different authors in it. So it's just a book of short horror stories, and I'm looking forward to settling in with some apple cider and some tea and enjoying that. All right, and my last one I am super excited about because I have not been let down yet by this man. So when I first started getting into audiobooks like 3 years ago, I started with a bunch of Stephen King short stories, like All Dark No Stars, I think, Just After Sunset, Bazaar of Bad Dreams, I think it's called, is amazing. But I am loving the horror short stories, and this just came out. It's not Stephen King, but I mean, it might as well be. This just came out, and I just picked it up from BAM. It's like the first time in a long time I have bought a book brand new, like right after it came out, and that is Full Throttle by Joe Hill. I'm so excited. I believe In the Tall Grass is in here. So, I mean, that's kind of cool to have a physical copy. But yeah, so, oh wait, because I already went through and read the introduction, and it said, I'm at the first story, and it says Throttle with Stephen King. So that's at least 2 stories in one book that are Joe Hill and Stephen King. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, I am super excited to read this because I just love the short story experience, because it's like you get this whole amazing story without having to commit to a whole book. And Joe Hill and Stephen King are really good at writing short stories. Really good. So I am super excited to read this. Alright guys, so there are some recommendations if you would like to expand your scary story, horror story time around this next week or so towards Halloween. I am super excited. We're getting there. Oh, but then October's gonna be over and I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the year except turn 30. I love you guys so much, and I will see you later.